This girl thinks she can coach people how to use peptides because she's done it for 4 weeks. I mean, I want to call her an idiot because she is, but then all the little girlies will get mad at me. And so just because you end your video with a smile doesn't mean that you're a good person. Coach Greg, in today's video, the problems with Reta, or in fact, any of the GLPs. The problem is they work too well. You thought I was going to say they're not effective, that it's just like SARMs when they first came out. Many people were saying that they didn't do anything, or peptides, that is. Well, this peptide, it works too great. And so you're thinking, well, how is working too well a problem? Well, the problem is people are not reasonable. They're not intelligent. They're idiots. They're morons. And they think that too much of a good thing is greater than last time. But really, it is not. And so I have 2 examples. We're going to start with none other than Sush.
You know what I just realized? Because I'm a little bit fatter now. 2 months ago, I was shredded as fuck.
And so you see the delusion in his mind. How many of you out there right now would want to be as lean as Sush right now? Almost all of you. But it's not good enough.
And everyone was like, bro, you look like a meth head. You look strung out. Your face is sunken in. You're crackhead, this and this. No one's saying that to me anymore. You know why?
Because he doesn't look unhealthily disgusting? Because he doesn't look rexic?
Because I'm fat. I have a little bit more healthy weight now in my face.
Look at my fat stomach. Are you kidding right now?
No one said that. I got a little bit more life in me. It was never the drugs. Although those things may be true.
I look like I have life in me. And so somehow that's an insult. So if you go up to somebody and say, hey, you look very vibrant, very youthful, you looking good, that's an insult. You want to hear, you look like a meth head. Apparently that's the compliment.
But it's literally just because I just have a little bit more water, a little bit more fat on me. But guess what, bitch? Not anymore. 5 milligrams of Reta a week. I just pinned that shit yesterday. I can barely eat my shit.
It's supposed to, these GLPs, to make you have a reduction of appetite. You know, reduce the cravings, the food noise. Not make you nauseous, not make you feel ill or sick at the thought of food. And it's only been 1 day. It can take up to a week, perhaps even more, before you feel its full effects. And so if on day 1, you're already feeling like you can't eat, you pinned too strong of a dose. Do you not already know about GLP Max? It's oral. You don't have to pin yourself. Reduce your cravings by 28%. Go from an 8 out of 10 hungry to a 6. That is all he needed. But no, I don't want to do that. I want to use an experimental drug. Did you all know it's not FDA approved, at least yet? That if you're using it, you are a rat. That's right, you're a rat. You're an experiment. You're a mouse. It's not supposed to be used on humans. And so why are you all acting like Retatrutide? Ratatouille?
I'm about to get shredded. Your Starve Maxing King is back, motherfucker. I'm coming back for vengeance. I'm taking what's mine. I'm coming back.
Why didn't he start with 1? 1 milligram. If after a few weeks, let's call it 3, you haven't lost any weight. You haven't lost it. Go to 1.5. You thought I was going to say 2. Why even go up to 2? Why are we doubling it? Why don't we take our time? But no, people can't do that. And so if you're using Turk Builder Max and you start at 1 and you're getting great results, why would you go up to 2? 1 is enough. That's all you need. You perhaps could go up to 2, and if you get more results, you're happy. And some people, they might eventually even go up to 3, but trust me, 3 is a lot.
And those allegations better come back, because honestly, those people call me a meth head. I was like, yeah, that kind of sounds sick. Okay?
And so at least I appreciate his honesty, telling us exactly what he's thinking. He likes those allegations. And so when you see people who weigh, for example, 67 pounds, give or take, and you know they have something that starts with an A, they like those allegations. They want to hear that. If they don't hear that, they think there's something wrong. And so if they go up to a more healthy, let's call it triple digit number, 100 pounds, they're thinking, well, people aren't calling me names anymore. And so am I fat? And so this has become a problem. Our next case is a woman. Can't just pick on the men. Oh, and before I get into this, you can get GLPs from AlgoRx, but did you know that they don't sell Reta? You think, well, why wouldn't they sell Reta? Everyone's selling Reta because they are above board. It's legal. You ever think of that? They're selling pharmaceutical prescription drugs from doctors, all legal. It's not some SARM's website, and the prices are significantly lower than everyone else. Compare them to Merrick Health. I dare you. And when you see it's half price, you're going to think, thank God, Greg made a video to direct me where to get my stuff. And so if you need enclomiphene, testosterone, tadalafil, Cialis, Viagra, telmisartan, the list goes on and on. You can go to AlgoRx, and while you're there, be sure to get your blood work. Code Greg, 10% off. Before peptides, okay, perfect. This is the before. I thought this was the after. I think I got them confused. It says before peptides, I see a healthy female. She seems lean. She has muscle. Why is somebody this lean going to take a peptide? Maybe she just wants to lose 2 or 3 pounds. I mean, hey, who am I to judge? I can say, well, I don't think you need it, but maybe she wants to lose 2 or 3 pounds. I mean, wouldn't that have been enough? But let's see the after. Okay, all right. So, Starve Maxed. She's down 15 pounds in 4 weeks. I'm not making this shit up. You can see it right there. Down 15 pounds in 4 weeks. 15 pounds in 4 weeks. A healthy amount of weight you can lose per week, it's about 1% of your body weight. And so unless you can mistake her as being 350 pounds, she's lost weight too quickly. When you lose weight too quickly, you're going to lose muscle. The only way you won't lose muscle is if you're on performance-enhancing drugs, testosterone, Anavar, the list goes on and on. There's no way she lost 15 pounds of body fat in 4 weeks. There wasn't 15 pounds of body fat to lose. Is she 15 pounds smaller? Well, I hope she's not lying in her post. Is she somehow now better? Does she want people to walk up to her? Because I'm certain all of her friends are seeing her. And in 4 weeks, if you lost 15 pounds when your starting weight is perhaps 135 pounds, and so you've lost more than 10% of your body weight in a month, that is very dangerous. I weigh 190 pounds. 10% of my weight is 19. If I came back in a month and made a video and I weighed 170, down from 190, y'all would be concerned. You say, Coach Greg, I mean, do you have cancer? What exactly has happened? Where did all of your muscles go? Sure, I would lose some fat, but I most certainly would be losing muscle because I don't have 19 pounds of fat on my entire body. And so how am I losing 19 pounds? You can see how lean her stomach is, the quads defined and so on. And for a woman, almost certainly amenorrheic, going to lose your period. You're not consuming enough calories. And so when you lose weight too quickly, it is bad. Starve maxing in order to look like you're perhaps using certain recreational substance. Why would you do that? This is not healthy. But what people are going to see is they're going to see 15 pounds in 4 weeks. Man, my diet sucks. I only lost 8 pounds in 4 weeks. I need to get on those peptides. You don't. Now, I'm not saying nobody can use these peptides, but they are for people who are obese. They're for people who are overweight, obese, they're perhaps type 2 diabetic, they're struggling with so much food noise that they cannot do it at all. They've tried. Does this woman look like she needed to take peptides in order to lose weight? And why would she lose them so quickly? Hi, love. I can't send links at the moment because of how many requests I've had. I have GLP-3 are linked under peptides in my bio. And I also made guides to help those getting started. This girl thinks she can coach people how to use peptides because she's done it for 4 weeks. I mean, I want to call her an idiot because she is, but then all the little girlies will get mad at me. You're a misogynist. No, I made video about a guy doing the exact same thing, and you all think that these guys can coach. She cannot coach. She doesn't even know how many milligrams she's taking.
So I have actually changed my body from this to this in under 4 weeks. And so I want to tell you guys exactly what I'm doing. I am taking a GLP-3. Now that is a tool to help me get to where I want to be.
It's not a tool, it's why. It's the reason why. You've said in your videos that you've been eating healthy and doing the thing for years. All you did was singularly add in Reta at too high of a dose, and that's all that you did. There's no magic. There's no you specially trained harder, you did this and did that. No, you took a drug. That is it. Full stop.
There's so many important things that you need to take account for. So you need to be drinking enough water. You need to be hydrating a lot. You also need to be hitting your macros. You need to have a plan for exactly what you're going to be eating every single day and hitting your protein goals, hitting your carbs, hitting your fats, so that your body is properly fueled while you're on this peptide. Taking this peptide kills all the food noise.
Also, this girl, you have to have this on point, that on point, this on point. If you don't do this, it's not going to work. She lost 15 pounds in 4 weeks. Sounds to me like all you have to do is take the drug and you're golden. How do you think she lost 15 pounds in 4 weeks? If you take this drug and you are starving and you're never hungry, it's easy.
But what it's done for me is it's made it so I can solely focus on eating the foods that I know I need to eat.
What it's done for her is it's made it incredibly easy to lose weight because she's never hungry. If you're never hungry, never thinking about food, and you have to set an alarm clock just to eat, to remind yourself, how hard would that be? And imagine, you have my cookbook and you're less hungry than last time. You perhaps aren't even using a GLP, but the meals in this, they're so filling that your hunger noise has gone down. You're using GLP Max, an oral version, and you have the cookbook. And so how hard would that be, really? Combined with GO2 Max, which is the #1 endurance maker in the world, if you have a hard time getting in your cardio, doing your perhaps 30 or 60 minutes and having energy throughout the day, GO2 Max, code Greg, 15% off. And so that is really the answer. Isn't that great? She has in her Stan store, whatever that is, free information on how to abuse these drugs in the same way that she did. Retta, it's not for human consumption. Let me be clear. Retta is not approved for humans to be using. It might in the future, but it isn't now. And so all you are doing experiments on your body. And thankfully, this woman with 4 weeks experience has put in a free program in her Stan store.
Guys, if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm an open book.
You know, my only question is, what is her dose? That's my question. What are you dosing? We know Sush is doing 5 milligrams, which is way too much. What is she dosing? I mean, an expert, she would surely know this, right? A little foreshadowing, guys.
Everybody's asking how I lost 9 pounds within not even 3 weeks.
But yet, in 4 weeks, she lost 15. Isn't it interesting? She lost close to 3 pounds per week, then suddenly lost 6. What happened there? Did she double her dose? Did she lie? How is it that the 4th week was the special magical week that lost more weight than last time?
Let me explain. So first of all, let me tell you guys, I have been doing a lot of training. I do work out like 5 times a week.
How many of you thought she was going to say 5 times a day? I do a lot of training. I work out 5 times a week. I mean, being a cyclist and having my cycling team and looking at the Olympics, for example, the winner of cross country, he was training 35 hours a week for cardio, and seeing as myself doing 10 hours of cycling each and every week. And I'm thinking, yeah, 5 times a week there. I am doing so much working out. It's so much. How is that hard? 5 days a week?
I eat really healthy, but there's one thing that's been a game changer for me because I have been eating healthy for forever and I have been working out for forever.
Oh, so she's been doing healthy eating and working out forever. And so forever, she was doing everything right. Working out 5 days a week, eating healthy, doing the things. But suddenly she lost 15 pounds in 4 weeks. Did she change her training? Did she buy Renaissance Periodation app? Did she get my cookbook? Did she hire a coach, Greg? No. She bought a drug.
But I still have that food noise. It would take me off track.
Yeah, of course. You have food noise because your body enjoys that you're healthy. For women, 25% body fat, that is perfectly healthy. And so your body has food noise to warn you that you should eat. Have you ever thought of that? If you're at 17% body fat as a female and you have food noise, it's probably because your body wants you to be able to produce children, to have babies, because you need food for energy, for hormone production, and so on. And so, we're acting like food noise is somehow bad. It's bad if you're obese, but when you're already perfectly healthy looking, right? It's not bad. It's healthy.
When it came to tracking my calories and staying in a calorie deficit or hitting my protein goals. Those things were really difficult for me.
Yeah, it's so hard to hit my protein goals. I have food noise making me hungry. And so that food noise makes me eat chips instead of chicken. This is what it does. How hard is it to eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight? It's easy.
But I changed one thing and it has completely changed the game for me. I've lost 9 pounds. I feel better than ever.
And so she's lost 9 pounds here, feeling better than ever. But let me remind you, in 1 more week, she lost 6 more. And so how many people think that this lady, she should really go on a starvation diet and drop 6 more pounds in a week? Because after all, she clearly looks obese right now. I mean, right, guys? There's nothing good or healthy about this body. She needs to starve max. She needs to pull off a sush. I mean, how many people would walk up to her and say, you look like you've done a lot of meth? I don't think anyone would look up to her and say, you look like a meth head, like a crack addict. She needs to starve max and lose 6 more pounds from her frame.
I feel like everybody deserves to feel their best. What I'm taking right now is peptides. So if you guys haven't heard anything about this, they're kind of blowing up right now.
Now, I taught English for a little while, special needs English. I wasn't very strong at it. It's not my strong suit, but I do understand that when you use the word S, it's plural. It means more than one. And so she took peptides and she took one. She should have said, I took a peptide, not I took peptides. And so is she in fact lying? Is she lying about the other peptides that she took and only giving you just one? Perhaps she's taking other peptides to help her retain that muscle while starve maxing her body down 15 pounds in 4 weeks.
It's the GLP-3. It's called Reta.
Oh, the experimental Reta, which isn't approved for human consumption. Perfect.
But these are only lab testing supplements, I would say.
And so they're only lab testing supplements, of which I have been using. You're supposed to test it on your rat, but I chose to experiment on me. And therefore, I am an expert, and I am going to show you my program on Stand Store.
I have been using now a company that I trust and I stand by.
And so she clearly meets the bar. The bar of understanding where she can now give out information because after all, she's a pretty girl, she's not obese, and she's on Instagram. And so she's technically a model. And because she's a model, she's technically a super model. Like Larry's wife.
How my body reacts to it, how I feel, and I feel amazing. What it is it's an injection. I do it twice a week. So right now for me and this, you guys, I am no doctor.
Yeah, we can tell.
What I'm doing personally is I'm doing 2 injections, 0.5 milliliters currently. If you learn more about this, as time goes on, I will increase that a little bit.
Okay, and so she's doing 0.5 millimeters currently. I know you said 0.5 millimeters, half a millimeter, but what does that mean? We don't know how strong it's dosed. If your bottle is 10 milligrams per mil or 5 milligrams per mil or 1 milligram per mil, then you could be doing 10 times more than you expect. And so isn't that maybe a little bit important? What are you going to have on your program? Take 0.5 mLs twice a week? Of what? Of how much? How much is that? And so here's the thing. It's too much. It's twice what you should be taking. And how do I know? Because you lost 15 pounds and you have no food noise whatsoever. You're never hungry. That shouldn't happen. That means you're overdosing.
I've been doing it on Tuesday and Friday. So pretty much what this injection does, it's a peptide, and peptides are an amino acid. So it's going to target whatever kind of response that you're looking for.
And so what is this peptide going to do? Well, it's going to target whatever response you're looking for. Man, I want to be 6'5" and not have to sit on my wallet to do so. And so I'm going to pin it on my stomach twice a week and I'm going to grow taller because that is what I want. That's the response I'm looking for. Does that make any sense?
I don't have a lot of fat to lose, but I do want to be able to see the muscle that I've built over the years.
Build more muscle. You can't see the muscle because there isn't much of it.
My results for me have been amazing, and I will continue to take these till I'm at my goal weight and everything. You guys, don't worry. I'm not trying to lose a ton of weight. I just have one specific number in mind. So I feel like you guys might attack me for that. But once I get there, I'll be good. And I just figured I'd share with you guys. I know there's a lot of people.
And so notice, she knows she's getting thin. She says, guys, don't worry. I have a certain goal weight that I want to hit, and then, then I'll stop. Okay. So if your doctor prescribes you blood pressure medications, once you get down to 120 over 80 from, let's say it's 160 over 100, once you get to 120 over 80, you just stop the medicine because that's how it works, right? You know, I mean, if you're a diabetic and you take insulin, once your insulin is under control, once you're managing your diabetes, you stop the insulin. When you stop the medication that allowed you to get this, you know, the medication that stopped your hunger cravings and so on, that stopped the food noise, stopped you from needing to eat, if you stop that medication, all of that is going to come back with a vengeance harder than ever before, harder than last time. And so what do you think is going to happen when you get to your goal weight? Let's call it 116. I don't know, making up a number. And then you stop. You're going to go back up to your old weight and then some. That is exactly what's going to happen. And so why don't you change your diet? Maybe get my cookbook. Try something over the counter like a GLP. Perhaps get my coaching. And stop acting like you can teach other people how to use Reta when you don't even know how much you're taking. 0.5 mLs twice a week. Come on.
I did get a coupon code from them, so you can save 10%. The coupon is Christine. I put the link in my bio, so it's going to be under Spartan Biolabs in my bio. If you guys are looking for the one that I use, it's GLP-3 called Reta. So
be sure to use her coupon code for that drug that she suggests everybody should be taking. Did she name a single negative side effect? Did she talk about nausea or constipation or people going blind, things like that? You know, all the little problems. No problem whatsoever. This is equivalent to making a video and saying, you know, I took Tren and I put on 10 pounds of muscle in 4 weeks. And so I suggest all of you should take Tren. And here's my coupon code. It's equivalent to that. Just telling you the truth. You can't encourage people to use drugs without warning them of the dangers. Okay? I get it. You're trying to make your bag. I try to make money as well. And so, for example, if you were taking Turk Platinum and I knew that it could cause all kinds of negative problems and I didn't warn you about that, then that would make me an asshole. You understand what I'm saying? And so just because you end your video with a smile doesn't mean that you're a good person. If you want to talk to an expert, doctors prescribing legal medications, they don't sell Reta. It's not legal. And so if you're getting Reta, you're getting it under the table, so to speak. It's not actually supposed to be sold. But if you want to get your blood work done by doctors, remember these guys used to work for Merrick Health. They started it. And so if you want to work with these doctors who wanted to sell things cheaper than last time because so many people couldn't afford HRT and so on, well, go to Algorex, click the link, use code Greg for 10% off and purchase legal supplements over the board. You know, with prescriptions, 100% legal, so that you're not breaking the law. And so if you want to do that, go to Algorex. You want to get any of my supplements, of course, go to HGLT Supplements. And if you want to get sponsored by HGLT Supplements, you click the link and apply. If you want to carry our supplements in your store and or gym, click the link. And if you want to work with me, because I actually know what I'm doing, I've been coaching people for well over 30 years, you can click the link and apply right now. And until next time, I am out.